we'll be learning in this. Okay, the first function we'll be learning is parseInt and parseFloat. Okay, these two, parseInt and parseFloat. So now the syntax is plain and simple. ParseInt, you give a string to it. Okay, what it does is it extracts the number part of the string, provided the string starts with a number. Plain and simple. So where do we use this? Okay, we say, okay, where do we use this? Now if you observe the prompt, okay, let's just go and see an example instead of talking about explaining about this thing. So let me just share the screen here. Okay, let me just open this. Hi Anil, how are you? So I'm gonna close everything here. Okay, let's start fresh. Doc type. Can you guys see my screen here? Any problem in seeing the screen? Title, Tutor's Live, Super 10, JavaScript, parseInt and parseFloat. Alright, so let's say JS math functions.html, or instead of math, let's say parse. Okay, JS parse.html. Okay, so let me just write a here input type equal to text, size equal to 20, name equal to fn, placeholder equal to enter first number, enter second number, sn, so id equal to fn. So whatever the name, I always give that as an id too. Okay, so that's, you know, my set of rules wherein, you know, I just give the name and id as the same. So here input type equal to button, value equal to add, id equal to add, name equal to add. Okay, so this is the program. So let's see if, you know, how is it working. So let me just go here, Super 10, and click this. Okay, so yeah, first number, second number, and add. So you understood, right? What's the application here? What is the application here? You cannot see the screen, Anil? Now can you see the screen? Oh, can see? Okay, fine. So yeah, what's the application here? So I give a number here, I give another number here. When I click on add, I have to see the addition here. That's the application, that's it. Okay, that is the application. So let me just style it. Style. So for sake, you know, this is the one you're never ever supposed to forget. Okay, these are form elements. Okay, so these are form elements. Always keep them inside a form. Okay, you don't have to write anything unless until it's required. So here what I do is I'll style to the form itself. Background -ee. Okay, margin 0 pixel auto, width 60%. Body background -a, margin 50 pixel. Okay, see that? That's some odd color, right? So here display inline block. Actually display inline block has, okay, no problem. Border 1 pixel, solid. Padding 1%. And now the next form and input. Okay, that means input tag after the form tag, input tag after the form tag, display as a block. Okay, display block is absolutely working fine, and a padding of 10 pixel. Yep, and here let the width be 40%. Let's see what happens if I say 40%. Okay, let the width be 100%. Okay, it has to come down to 90%. Oops. Right, looks good enough, right? Right, enough of styling. Just one last styling here. Okay, so id add background hash 0e. Okay, border width 0 pixel. Okay, and then let's use a margin bottom of 10 pixel. Right, so this is my application. I have prepared my application. So let me write one more small tweak here, h3 and something just to show the. So we did not use any bootstrap or nothing, we just styled this in, I guess, 6 minutes, right? So I want you to style this in 6 minutes too. So you have to become that perfectionist when it comes to design. Okay, there's nothing there, even I don't say this is a good design, but this design is enough, to show somebody, login, let's say login form. Okay, you can do that. Alright, so now let's start doing our script. So I'll write the script at the very end. Okay, I'll write it here. So as soon as I click on add so first let me just pick the element here. So element equal to, what is that? Document dot get element by ID. So this is my done. So element dot on click equal to function. Okay, function. What it should do? First number. How do I get the first number? First number equal to document dot get element by id of fn dot value, right? How do I get the second number? Sn second number. Okay, now here what I want to do is, after the form I'll write a div here, div let's take id, show okay here. So document dot get element by id show dot inner html equal to, so how, first number plus second number. So I'm adding them, right? So we get a we give a number and we are adding and we are putting it in the show div. So let's see now. So let me just refresh this, refreshed. So I'll give 10, 20 and I'll say add. Oh, something happened here. So let me just check. Okay, so style, something have happened here. id show, color. So where is this gone? I just want to see. Oh, thanks man, thank you, thank you Sohail. 10 and 20 I'll say add, and still there's something wrong. So let me just check it. Element add, id is add, I'm clicking on it, on click. Okay, the real problem is here. Now this will work. Okay, so what is the answer here? 10 and 20. If I add 10 plus 20, what's the answer? You see it here? Okay, let me just tweak something here. Padding 0 pixel and border of 1 pixel, solid hash e. Okay, instead of inline block I'll say none. Okay, as soon as the result comes out, dot style dot display equal to inline block. Okay, first it is invisible. As soon as I click on something, okay, to show the result, I'm saying it as inline block. So let us just refresh this. Okay, I'll say 10 and 20. When I add them, you see that 10 20 it says. It's a wrong answer, right? So what really happening is, whenever it's taking it, it's considering as strings and it's concatenating them. Okay, so this is where we need the string to be converted into number. Exactly, that is where my function parse int comes into picture. So just before I take the value, I'll say parseInt. parseInt. Okay, parseInt will convert a string into an integer. That is it. Remember the syntax here: int, capital I, parse, capital I. Okay, this is a mistake most of the newcomers do. So let's do now again. 10 and 20. So not the answer now. 30. You see that? 30. Now 10.5 plus 20. How much is this? 10.5 plus 20. 11.5 plus 20. How much? 31.5. Right? 20.5 plus 11.5. How much? So this is not working out. Right? It's not taking the decimals. It's only taking the integer part. No, it's not taking the decimal part. Okay? So for that, what I do here is parse float. So this is the appropriate function to convert a string to a number. Math.wrong? No. I need exact multiplication. Sorry, exact addition. So let's do 10.5 plus 11.5. 22. 10.5 plus 11. 21.5. 10 plus 11. 21. Yes? Clear? What should be used? Parse float should be used every time if you want to convert strings to integer or a number. Alright, now give any number here. 10,000, 2011. So this is an application. Now let's see what happens here. Okay, it cannot convert a string to integer, right? Is it right? Can I convert a proper string to integer? I can only convert a numbered string. Let's say now 10 men. 10 men plus 12 women. So what's the answer now? 22. Since it starts with a number, it can convert. Now let me just do this. Men 10 plus 12 men. You know, not a number it says. NaN stands for not a number. Alright? And let's see if this is responsive. Yeah, fantastic. This is responsive. We have built a responsive thing. Okay? Any doubts in here? Any question here? Cutting? Yeah. The cutting, I mean, it can be done again. Okay, the reason for that is the margin. We have given the margins in pixels, right? Some of the margins and paddings in pixel. That is the problem here. So this margin is, instead of this margin in pixels, I say percentage. Okay. And where is it? Padding, that's okay. So maybe this is so now again this is, we have given the size 20. Okay, we have given the size 20, hence that's a problem over there, else it will be fixed too, no problem. Okay, so that's it. Any questions here? parseInt and class float, these are really important when you are dealing with real-time development, Ajax. Okay, when you are working with Ajax and jQuery, this is really important. Okay, so you can again, now I'll just do one application here. Okay, small application. Let's not waste much time here. So I'll copy this. So multiply, divide, and blah blah blah. Okay, you can do that multiple things too. And here, let me just style this input button width 10%. Okay, let me just check. Okay, this did not work. Type equal to, let me just check this. Yep. Alright, so you can also implement that if you're interested. If you want to implement like add, subtract, multiply, divide, anything, you can build a calculator here. Even if you want to type numbers, okay, you can also type numbers instead of giving like this. You can say 1 2 3 and certain things like that. Okay, so yeah, that's the first concept in today's class. So the next concept here is location.href. This is again really important property. This is called browser object model, so BOM. Okay, I'm not discussing all the BOMs. There are so many BOMs like user agent, screen size, and blah blah blah. We don't need that. There are so many other plugins to do this, but location.href is really important. So what does location.href does? So location.href will redirect to that link you have given. Location.href will redirect to that link you have given. So let me just bluff you. Okay, let's write another application here. Are you following me? Are you with me? So you guys understood, right? Where do you want to use parse float and parse int, and which one is better to use, parse float or parse int? Which is good? Yes, which one's good? Int or float? Depends. No, I say parse float. Use parse float. Well, you don't really know what users really submit. Okay, if you're dealing only with integers, let's say, then yeah, parse int. Or if you're doing with combination, I say parse float is a better option. But when you don't know that you're gonna use a integer or a floating number, always go with parse float. Alright, so let's do one more experiment here. So we are just playing with it. Even I don't know that I'm gonna teach you guys this. Okay, and that's so spontaneous that I'm showing you these examples. Okay, so sometimes that's the reason I just stop by for some time. The reason for that is I don't prepare for classes. Trust me. I mean, I don't know if it's a drawback or a good one. So yeah, the next tier is, let's start here. Doc type HTML head title. So title is Tudos Live Super 10 JS location href. Okay, this is really important. Again, trust me, I mean, this is useful in jQuery and Ajax. So whatever we are learning today is very useful in jQuery and Ajax. Okay, so JS location dot html. Oops, I spelled it wrong, so let me just rename it. Okay, so here what I do is I just bluff you guys. How do I bluff you guys? So here I write a href equal to, okay, nothing, id equal to link. Okay, I used an id. Facebook login. Okay, let's say I said Facebook login. Click to log in through Facebook. So let's just do something here. Body. Oops. Body margin, so let's say 10%. Background hash e, and here coming to a background has 00e. Okay, color white. Okay, and then border 1 pixel solid hash. You guys are bored with the styling I do, or do you like the styling I do? I really feel bored if someone does a styling in front of me. What do you think? Be plain and simple. Just decoration. None. Not answering? So I assume I'm boring. Okay, that's a Facebook login over there. So I need something else there. That's a padding. 10 pixel. Okay, that's a Facebook login. So when I click, nothing's really happening. I even don't know that's a link, right? It looks like a link, but it's not a link, right? So just give me a second here. You guys here sleeping? I asked you so many questions. Didn't I ask you so many questions? Hello? Shall we start the class here? Can you guys hear me? You hear? Okay. Do I have to mention that Sohail answered this question? Yeah, I said that. I mean, when I do styling, do you guys feel bored? When I just write the styling? Yes? You can say me. I can make it better ways to teach you. You like my styling? Okay. Okay, fine. So yeah, how do I bluff you? So I said Facebook login, right? I said Facebook login over there. So now let me do this thing. Script. Here, okay. Whenever, okay, I'll take this var element equal to document dot get element by id. So the id is link. Okay, element dot on click equal to function. Okay, location dot href equal to http www.tutoslive.com login. You know, people hack these websites. Okay, people who hack websites via comment section. Okay, this is what they do. They just type script location.href to their website. So that I'll show you now what happens here. So I saved it there. Okay, I'll refresh this. I refresh this. Then now let me click. Somebody comes here and says that okay, this is Facebook login, so let me click it. So where does this go? Okay, it went to my profile there. So let me just log out here. Okay, so let me just open this again. I say Facebook login, so it has went here. Okay, that's how I can redirect URLs without knowing. So when somebody looks at it, okay, they say like, okay, this is going nowhere, right? It's going nowhere. But you know, I I have literally have redirected them to a different website. So when people want to hack something, okay, what they do is they just type this piece of code. Whenever you try this, okay, you have website, but I don't think nowadays websites have become more intelligent. Try doing this script location.href equal to http www.tutoslive.com script. Anywhere you see comments, don't go for the big websites. Okay, big websites have their own. Even don't try it in Tutos Live too, because Tutos Live won't accept this. But small websites where you want to, these blogs blogs and stuff, people who don't really take care of their security, if you do this, every time they hit the URL, okay, it goes to this particular URL, right, every time. So let me just show you this. Copy that. Okay, let me go here. I'm copying it. Okay, so let me just open this file and see what happens there. I'm trying to open this file, but it's gone here. It's redirected there. Even you did not click anything over there. It just redirected over there. Right? So that is the problem with this. This href location.href is used for that. And when do we use this actually in real time? Okay, suppose you're logged in. Okay, you're logged in. When you're not logged in, I have to take to a different website. When you're logged in, I have to take you to another website. Just take, in this case, the tool we are using here. Whenever I end the class, where are you going? You're going to tutoslive.com feedback, right? So that is how it's done. It's done using JavaScript. Okay, so to redirect something not from the server side but from the client side, okay, you are supposed to use location.href. All right. So that's about the second set of topic I want to discuss today. So I have a question for you guys. Can you guys do validation, form validation? Just what we have done. You know how to take values from form fields? You guys know how to take values from form fields? Don't worry if you don't know about, because we'll discuss that in our jQuery. That's very very easy over there, and you won't be doing JavaScript validations. You'll be doing only jQuery validations from now on. You guys here? I'm asking you guys a question. Okay, no problem. But just at least do a calculator application again. Do it using DOM. Now you have done it using the prompt. You have done it using plain JavaScript. Now try to do it using DOM, using document.getElementById, whatever we have done previously. Okay, try to do it. It's up to you. If you do it, you get it. Right? So the next one I want to talk about is set timeout. This is really important. Set timeout. Okay, set timeout is an inbuilt JavaScript function which is used to execute a piece of code after some time. To execute a piece of code after some time. Okay, so to execute a piece of code after some time. So that means if I want to redirect a web page after 1 hour, after 10 seconds, after 5 seconds, or if I want to throw a pop-up after 10 seconds, after 15 seconds, like saying, sometimes you see when you go to a web page, okay, you stay there for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, a pop-up comes up saying that, hey, do you want to subscribe with us? Did you guys check that anytime? You guys have come across such kind of situation? You go to a website, a pop-up will pop up saying, hey, please subscribe to our newsletter so that you don't miss any information. So that is done using set timeout. Okay, so the syntax for set timeout function, whatever the code you want to execute. Okay, that's one part, and the next part is time in milliseconds. So what does this mean? Set timeout, execute this particular piece of code after 1 second. You guys are with me actually? No questions asked? Execute that piece of code after 1 second. That is what it means. Okay, shall we check it? How does this happen? Okay, let's go ahead and see this in a program. Okay, so here doc type HTML, title Todos Live JS, sorry, Super 10 JS. What is that? Set timeout. Okay, so here I'm going to show you one more event for you guys. Okay, we did not discuss this event from yesterday's class, and we missed a quite number of events in yesterday's class, but don't worry, we'll discuss everything in jQuery. Okay, so no issues on that, but they are really important. You are not supposed to miss those events. The form events are really important for a front-end web designer. Okay, remember that part. So here nothing. Okay, here I say onload equal to JavaScript start function, whatever, some silly function over there. Okay, onload equal to JavaScript some start here. So I'll write a JavaScript here, script. So here I'll write a function start. Okay, alert or let's say prompt, please give us your email ID. Okay, JS set timeout dot HTML. Shall we see? Okay, let's go ahead and see now. So here set timeout, I click on this, see, onload, just onload. So I'll say tutoslive.com something, you know, that's not an email ID, but I gave it and it gets settled. Now when I refresh this, it again asks for me, right? It's asking for the email ID, right? So now I don't want this to happen as soon as I load. I want this to happen after 10 seconds. After 10 seconds. So how do I make this happen? So here function after 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds give me this prompt. After 10 seconds give me this prompt. So what should happen now? So it should call after every 10 seconds, right? So here I do in start onload set timeout function So after 10 seconds, 10 seconds is nothing but 10,000 milliseconds. Okay, so in here I call that function after 10 seconds. Oops, not here. Here. Okay, shall we see if it calls after 10 seconds or right away? So I'll just refresh this. Now you see nothing has happened because we restricted it. So let's see if it takes place after 10 seconds or not. So I don't know. 10 seconds over right now. sagar.tudoslive@gmail.com. Okay, you got it. Set timeout. If you want something to trigger after some time, that is where the set timeout comes into picture. You understanding here? Set timeout. How important is set timeout? Now let's do one more thing here. Like, you can also use the location.href. Okay, you can use anything in set timeout. Like, say for instance, I'll tell you a beautiful application with set timeout. If you want to try, okay, try this out. So now this is the situation. Okay, I have a call for 15 minutes. I have to throw a warning at 10 minutes saying that you have only 5 minutes left. So you need set timeout here. How do you do it? This set timeout function alert, whatever the message you want to alert, message, comma, 15 minutes equal to how many seconds? 15 into 60, so it's 900 seconds, 900,000 milliseconds, 900,000 milliseconds. That's it. Okay, that's a click event. Maybe you're not supposed to let them actually. I don't know, I did not try this. Maybe if I try it, yeah, I'll definitely tell you. So yeah, I know that. So how do you actually, maybe that is something which should not open the pop-ups. I mean, not pop-ups, but you see those options when I right click, we have to restrict that. Maybe it's possible with JavaScript. No problem, no issues in that. It should be client side only. Okay, so I did not try that anytime. So if I come across, I'll definitely explain you how to do that. So that's set timeout. You understood what is set timeout? Any questions in set timeout? Yes, Anil, you have any question? Sure, no questions. These are really important concepts. Just ask me. Okay, Sagar, I did not understand this. I'll explain the whole program again. No issues in that. And today is the 20th class at Tudos Live, I suppose. So in 20 classes we have done JavaScript. That's a miracle, trust me. And I hope everybody got the knowledge. Okay, so it's only 20 classes and we have done JavaScript. Previously it was, I don't know how many classes we have taken to reach to this point. But yeah, that's really cool. You're still not perfect in JS because you're not practicing in JS. Practice in JS. Okay, the assignments are really important. So I don't know, whenever I put an assignment on the website, I'll definitely email you guys. So make sure drag the Tudos Live emails to your main inbox. Okay, so I'm gonna add more and more assignments. Watch our Facebook page too. Okay, try to submit them, and definitely that may help you out. Alright, so the next and the last of today's topic, this is fantastic. I really love this function, set interval. So set interval is used to execute a piece of code every time. Okay, every time, or for the time is given again in milliseconds, given in milliseconds. Right, so that's a set interval. So the syntax is same as set timeout. Set interval function, what is the piece of code you want to execute? You see, I told you this the other day when we are doing the timer, right? You guys remember we have done this, the timer application. Okay, that is done using set interval. So all the timers you see, this means execute that piece of code every second. Yes, set interval is to run a time for indefinite time, like a timer, like a counter. Okay, whatever it. So let's see a counter example today. What do you say? Let's see a counter example. Alright, so this is the last of the experiment we're gonna do today. So I hope we have certain time here. Let me just see. We have 12 minutes. Okay, let me just increase that to another 15 minutes. So Sohail, it's all practice. If you don't practice, you won't be perfect. So it's all practice. Watch the videos again and again. Okay, you can't really get this opportunity to watch a class and again in anywhere if you go to an online institute. Yeah, of course. Oh, sorry, not online, offline. But online, you have YouTube videos. You can even you're most welcome to watch those videos which are posted by other people. But again, there is no interactivity over there. You can't really talk to the guy who has done that video. That is a disadvantage over there. So you can't really say him that I'm not still perfect, because he won't answer you. Okay, so that is what motivated me to start Tutos Live. Okay, plain and simple. So can you guys see my screen here? Yes, onload. You understood onload? Whenever the body loads, it calls the start function. In the start, there is a set timeout. Set timeout will call this function after 10 seconds. Okay, then you can do with this email ID whatever you want to do. So let me copy this piece of code, or let's copy this. No, this is JS set interval dot HTML. Alright, set interval. So let me just remove everything here. So no onload. Here I'll give a div class equal to, sorry, let's use ID. Div. Okay, so let me just give some style here. Body margin 10%. Background okay, and a font size of 200% and a font weight of bold, right, and the div I'll let the div be div. No issues in that. Okay, so now let's see a counter application. Okay, something like a counter application. So here I use a button div class equal to controls. So here button is a tag, start. So okay, button is a tag, don't worry about what button is. Alright, so let's see what's there. So set interval, start is here. So let me just style that start. It doesn't look good, so show first thing I always do is padding, then a background of RGB, say RGB, so 0 120 0. Okay, the border. Okay, what happens if I don't give the border with you just check it out. Okay, what happened? Oh, it's not show, it's start. Capital S. Okay, if I don't give a border over there, you see that the border looks really ugly over there. So that's called UI, user interface. So UI is like how good it looks like. Okay, remember that. And let me just give a width here, width of 100 pixels, so that it doesn't look bad. And let me just give a color for this as white. All good. So when I click on start, it should start counting. That's what my application is. Okay, so when I click on start, so here itself I give on click equal to JavaScript. I'll give a function called start. Here function start. So what start does is set interval function. Okay, function, let it call another function called counter. So every second let it call another function called counter. So let me write a counter function here. So even before counter I want to initialize I to 0. Okay, just to count from 0 to infinite, whatever. So here document dot get element by ID of show, I guess, right? Show dot inner HTML equal to I++. That is it, done. The application is done. You can write the controller application to, sorry, the timer application. If you want to try this, okay, try this and just post me on the Facebook saying that you have done with it. Okay, so let me just refresh this and see. Let me press start here. See that 0 1 2 3 4 5, right? Can you guys say it? The counter, it's going every second. Okay, now I need to give a control to stop also, right? When I can't really run this forever, so let's stop this. Why should it go indefinitely? Yes, stop, stop, stop. So except that the background color I'll change. let's see, that's stop. So when I click on stop, okay, this should stop. Alright, so how do I do it? So the thing is here, set interval will always return a resource variable. It will always returns a variable. Okay, so that variable is used to control the set interval. So I say some value, it will return a value. Okay, this returns a value. Now if I want to stop this, so function on click, it goes to stop. So the function is clear interval of that value, clear interval of that value. Shall we see it? So I'll just refresh this. I'll say start 0 1, I'll say stop, it stopped. I'll say start again 3 4 5, I'll say stop 6, I'll say start 7 8 9, I'll say stop. So let me give one more last button here, which is called reset. So if I have to reset, okay, what reset does will make the counter 0. Will make the counter 0. Okay, so reset, I'm adding reset to there too, and then I just change the background color. RGB 0 0 120. So let's see, reset. When I click on reset, it has to become 0. So it's plain and simple. Reset is very simple. What reset will do? Function reset I equal to 0. That's it. Function reset I equal to 0. Shall we see? So I'll just refresh, start. So it starts, keeps on going. Let's say stop. Let's say reset. Let's say start. Okay, let's do one more thing here. Just not to break the flow. Let's say start 1 2 3, it's going. On to stop, it's working. On to start, so it's starting off. Then I'll say reset, it goes to 0, and it's again starting. You can also on reset you can also stop that. How? Clear interval. Any questions here? Any questions regarding the set interval? These are very, very important. Today's class is very important. You will definitely use this in real time, at least twice or thrice in single project. Any questions? No questions? If no questions, then I'll be leaving the class for today. So tomorrow is jQuery, the really important part and very easy part. So that is it, guys. So leave any feedback, keep in touch on Facebook. Okay, follow the, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will receive the updates on the videos as soon as I upload. Why you gonna miss out? Don't miss me, man. Don't miss. You will definitely have the videos there. Okay, or just make the payment. I'll forward the link for the payment. Alright, so take care, guys. Have fun. Alright, that's the class for today. Leave a feedback, please, and please don't forget to share this link with your friends, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow on G+. Okay, that will improve our performance. Okay, so thank you.